All right, welcome back. So before we get into that next role that we're going to understand how to play, the coach, I want to break down what that morning mindful warm-up is, because you're going to start that today, or actually tomorrow when you wake up. So you're going to start, this is part of your self-care game plan, is starting your day with this morning mindful warm-up. And I'm going to have you write down what it is, but here's the thing. You can also email me, Heather at heathergodusco.com, and I will send you an amazing sheet, a PDF that you can print out, and you can actually have it on a piece of paper already to remind you. If not, let's get on with it. So what is the morning mindful warm-up? Tongue twister, morning mindful warm-up. Say that fast 3 times. So it is taking all of these rules that we just spent time learning about and creating actions for. So you have your player action, your fan action, your cheerleader action, and your playing defense to that opponent action. So every day you're going to choose that time of the morning that works for you. Maybe right when you wake up is not a great time for you. Maybe it's as you are getting your morning coffee, or after, if you have kids, after you get your kids off to school. So wherever it fits in that morning is where you're going to take, it doesn't take longer than 5 minutes to do this, but you're going to write down on a piece of paper every day, my player action. And your player action is to visualize, right? You're going to visualize what it is that you're gonna do, right? Because remember, what was that star player action? It's doing something that excites you, something you want to achieve. So you're not gonna actually do it in this 5 minutes, but you're gonna close your eyes. You're gonna say, I am going to, for me, when I was writing my book, I am going to do all of the things I need to get my book published. And I see myself publishing my book. I see it on Amazon. I'm seeing 5-star reviews come in. I'm seeing that best-selling banner. So I see the vision. I'm feeling the vision. I'm making it real. And then I'm actually going to write it down on my paper. My player action is to visualize seeing my published book and feeling great about that. That's done. Moving on. You're going to write down my fan action. So again, first I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to really lean into those fan actions. What is that? It's your gratitude statements. Remember, you wrote down 3 gratitude statements. It could be, I am so happy and grateful for another day in the life of me. And when you say it out loud and feel it. And then also write it down. And then do the same thing with those next 3. Move on to your cheerleader action. What's your cheerleader action? Remember, that's where you stand tall, shoulders back. You feel that intensity of reminding yourself who you are and who you want to become if you're not already that person, right? So I am strong. If you're going through a lot of adversity, you may not feel strong, but you're going to say, I feel strong. I am strong. I am capable. I am worthy. And you're going to write it down. There is power in the written word. So you're going to say it. You're going to write it. You're going to feel it, right? So what did we do so far? We visualized that player goal. We're taking the time to do our 3 gratitude statements, write it down and feel it. We're taking the time to do our cheers, also known as affirmations, saying them and writing it down. And then most importantly, don't forget this, you have to play defense for that opponent. So now write down my opponent action and remind yourself, it doesn't take much to remind yourself of that reoccurring thought. Remember, for me, it's you're not doing good enough. You're not doing enough. Keep doing more because you're just simply not good enough. That's my mean girl in my head. And I have to remind myself, I need to say, is that true? No, it's not true. You are doing great, Heather. You've accomplished your goal of being a published author. And now you have, I remind myself of my new goals and that it's okay to take the time to get there. So that opponent action, really important to flip that script of that narrative that you're saying. So you're doing that on paper. What are you doing? You're writing it down and saying, I'm not good enough, if that's the one for you. And then you cross it out. And then you flip it and you write it the other way. I am good enough. And that's your opponent action. And then moving throughout the day, you're going to remind yourself that, yeah, you are good enough. And maybe you have that word or phrase, not today, or yes, I can, or let's go, whenever you have that adversity, that feeling of not being good enough, or whatever that fear is for you. Okay, so that is your morning warm up. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Again, email me, heathergadesco.com, and I will send you a great PDF that you can print out a few for an entire week, for an entire month, and you'll have that and you can just flip it every day. You'll have a running list of this morning warm up. In addition, what I want you to do, if you have time, after you go through those 4 roles, I just want you to look ahead at your day and say, okay, what is it that I'm doing today? And let me feel some excitement about it, right? Even if you're in a job that you don't necessarily love right now, to say, okay, how can I make the best out of this day and make it great? Right? So that's where we really harness that strength, is getting through those days where we may be working that job we're not loving yet, or maybe we know we have a big meeting. How can we make the best of that and looking forward into that day, and just kind of going through what we need to do and where our mindset needs to be. Okay? So that is your morning mindful warm up. Join me on the next video that's going to get you ready to be your own head coach with a team of assistant coaches. I'll see you there.